Hello there! So I decided to do something different from my usual boss fight videos. A Nuzlocke. Now, a bunch of people already did it, but one thing they all had in common was that they weren't as advanced as I was. No front to that, you can play the game just for fun, or you do it like me and completely segregate. The idea to do that was stuck in my head for several months, but I never really found the time until now. So let's start. I decided to use Fleshly Souls simply because of one yokai, but you will see that pretty soon in the run. Right at the beginning, I wanted to try out a glitch which I once saw on the internet. I think it's called car glitch or something. It's pretty pointless but kind of nice to do. Also, I should probably tell you about the rules here. I can only befriend one yokai per location. An example for location is Uptown Springdale, Blossom Heights, etc. etc. I can't have any duplicates, means I can only have one Snartle, not two. Cheating or hacking is not allowed as well, and originally I banned glitches, but when I looked at the footage I saw that I actually broke the rule several times. So, new rule, glitches are allowed if they are unimportant to the Nuzlocke. And some more things that I'll just show you right now real quick. And here we go. I need to choose between Ruffruff, Manjamut and Tattletale. Tattletale would have been the best choice because she has a ultimate move which can cancel an opponent's ultimate. It won't work on boss fights, but it does work against Snartle. I didn't have any plan on purpose though, because I wanted to keep this Nuzlocke a bit more exciting, as knowing everything just kind of ruins it. Why do I went with Ruffruff? Well, two tough tribes give you a defense boost, and I thought that this could be pretty good against Snartle. And I don't want to die. I completely forgot about Tattletale's ultimate. And as you can see here, I was able to skip the World Cup waiting scene by jaywalking for the first time. I just did story for the beginning because it's not the best time to grind yet, but that changes very soon. The most grind happens when being E rank, means once I got D rank, I will need to grind less and less. Also, what I need to say is that I don't make this video to flex how skilled I am, because doing a Nuzlocke is a complete new experience to me. Like, I actually did struggle in the beginning and I will lose several yokai later. My only advantage was that I know a lot of strats to get XP, and that carried me through the run. This video is actually about the fact that Nuzlocks aren't that difficult if you put a little grind into them. Like, you can easily do a Nuzlocke by yourself, following my steps. So if you're bored, then go ahead. At the end of this video, I'll show a little list of what I did step by step. But anyways, now we need to face Baku and I clearly underestimated him. Look at my Swelton. He is very low on HP, got inspirited, and now he's one shot. On top of that, I need to gamble, but luckily Baku decides to inspirit instead of attacking, which saved the run. If my Swelton would have died, then I would have made a reset. That's how important Swelton is. But now, we finally start grinding for our first time. Here, I want to get a shiny Sandmane. Yes, ykw2 contains shinies. They are called type rares though. I think because if you translate the Japanese into English, then you get type rare. Anyways, those type rares have visual differences. For example, this Sandmane has golden instead of blue eyes, and that's the most important part, a better ability. Most shinies have a better ability than their usual versions, but this Sandmane is broken as hell, because he only receives half damage from physical attacks. A physical attack is punching, for example. Elemental attacks, on the other hand, would be, let's say, a fireball. I got pretty lucky with my shiny Sandmane, as it only took me around half an hour to get him. Also, there is a fusion item called Sandsuit, which lets you fuse your Sandmane to a Mr. Sandmane. He's only B rank, but still pretty good. A top tier tank. Generally, I really enjoyed this playthrough though. ykw2 has always this special feeling to me. Like it always gets me into the right mood. When I played ykw1 as a kid, I just spent most of my time walking around the towns and battling some random yokai. I had like 300 hours on the clock, but only had one legendary because back then I was too young to have a phone and couldn't use Google. And that made it very special to me to get Shogunyan. It was very random to me, so I got incredibly happy. Sadly, I don't have that much memories anymore. After I stopped playing ykw2, I kind of forgot about the franchise. Reason for that was probably the huge hype around Pokemon cards in our school, and it completely caught me. I spent a lot of time and money on Pokemon cards and made bad trades like every day. I also remember that my grandma bought me a Pokemon pack, and I got the biggest garbage out of it, but needed to pretend like I just got my dream Pokemon. And then, 5 years after I played ykw2, I randomly saw a ykw2 cartridge in a store, and thank God that I decided to buy it. One thing I remember really well was that I got smart enough to use Google at some point, and I found out about special coins. So I scanned like 10 QR codes, went to Empty Whitewood, and then I got a Concavity. And at the moment I thought that I just got an extremely powerful yokai. So I scanned a lot of more QR codes, got a lot of good yokai, and just enjoyed playing ykw2. But then I wanted to get an Elder Bloom. And here's the problem. I need to get Dromp to get Elder Bloom, and in order to get Dromp, I need to place Robinyan on a buffle board. But a month ago, I turned my Robinyan into a soul. And stupid me didn't knew that trading was a thing. It took me over a year to discover that feature. So I put my 3DS away for some days because it frustrated me so much. We need to get back to the Nuzlocke real quick though, because now I finally unlocked Chopper's Row, which is very good as we get a lot of XP there. How? Well, you know the Blossom Heights lottery? Stupid question, of course you do. But maybe you didn't pay too much attention to all the trades which are there. There is some good equipment locked behind the first prizes. And also, you get a lot of good books, but one prize I didn't mention are Mega X-Pops. These give you 8000 XP to a yokai and are behind the 4th place, sometimes. And my goal is to get a lot of them. In order to get them, I need to get a lot more lottery tickets though. And the only way to get them right now is to grind for them in Chopper's Row. You know these 3 giant apartments in the left corner? On the doors you can get lottery tickets from those yellow sparkles. They are pretty rare though. And with that I mean that you get like 1 ticket per run through all these apartments. So it's a slow grind that doesn't make fun at all, but it's essential to do that. At this point I thought I was definitely over leveled against Snartle. But God, were I wrong. I need to say that my stream nearly crashed in this fight, so the frame rate drops like crazy. My strat for this fight was to spam Bedingan's ultimate, and I need to say that I got very lucky here. That's the second time that a Nuzlocke could have ended, but this golden wisp saved me. Also, my Semi could have died, but he wouldn't be that much of a use after that fight anyways. Also, the fight was the hardest in the entire Nuzlocke, so at this point it will just get easier. And now, I can move on to a way better strat to get XP. You see on the ground floor, near the toilet, you can find a bathroom sink which lets you interact with it. First option lets you wash your hands. From that, you can see a Washagun appearing sometimes. Then he fights and drops a gold tag to 100%. That is good, but not what we are looking for. If you brush your teeth every day, then there's a chance that Concavity appears. And after you defeat him, you get a freaking Holy X-Pop. And it's called Holy for a reason. 20,000 XP to 1 yokai is just amazing, and it only takes you like 10 minutes to get one. So that's my new strat that I will keep grinding for the rest of the run. At this point, I could just grind all the levels until I'm done, but even though I can grind for a bit, at some point I want to take some breaks, means I go forward with the story. Also, I lose like 3 yokai against Concavity, but I don't care as my Snartle still survives. He is basically the champ in my team. If he dies, then I would need to reset. It's sad that my Hungrams died though. He's a weak healer, but for the beginning very solid. Anyways, how does Concavity work? Well, I think he's like a regular yokai spot. You need to sleep for 5 days and then you get the chance that he appears. I never really tried it though, simply because I'm too lazy to actually test it out. I just sleep and then brush my teeth and repeat it over and over again until I get him. The strat how I beat him is pretty simple. I always bring a strength talisman to the battle. That makes my Snartle a little stronger and the opponent can only attack once, if you charge your soul teammate fast enough. This makes the fight way easier and also secures that it's less likely that an ally dies. And here we go to face our first boss. This Gutsy Bones cutscene is fire if you ask me. I think my Snartle was around level 50 at that point, which is why I destroyed him that easy. Also, Gutsy Bones is so garbage, you really need to try to lose against him. But back to the story. So I put my 3DS away for some days because it frustrated me so much. But then, I decided to completely restart from the beginning. Why did I do that? Well, the wiki tells you that you can only befriend Robinson from a certain quest. But that's just straight up a lie, as you can get him from Terror Time or Blasters. But I'm glad that the wiki is so incomplete, because that's the reason our spreadsheet exists. We also have a little community, and I just met a lot of great people there. And on that second playthrough, I actually enjoyed ykw2 even more. Like, it was hard to begin, but got enjoyable pretty fast. And that's what I love so much about ykw2. Most games you just put away once you finish the story. But that's just not the case with ykw. For me, the game really begins after you finished it. You can do a lot of quests, some are annoying, but others like Whisper Credits are so good. Especially these opening credits have just an amazing animation. Then you also have to get a lot of trophies and some really test your patience. But the part that got me interested the most were boss fights. I think most people can't really relate to that from what I saw, but that's fair. If you ask on Reddit what team you should use against ykw2, then at least half of those people suggest you a Shogunyan team. Now, it isn't bad, but there are just way better options that also guarantees you a win. One time, someone actually shared a link of one of my ykw2 shorts, and that was very cool. What you may have noticed is that I didn't post any boss fight shorts or videos recently, which kind of has to do with the fact that I ran out of ideas. So if you have a cool idea or a nice challenge, then tell me. I want to speedrun ykw2 in the future, but I will always have some time for a quick boss fight challenge. Especially if it's tough. And I won't speedrun the entire ykw2 story, as this would take me way too long. But I actually do want to speedrun until I defeated Gutsy Bones, and I promise you that video will be uploaded before you retire. That's a promise I can do. Also, what you may have noticed is that I decided to not show you my train adventures, because it's just annoying to watch. It would be great if trains wouldn't be that annoying in ykw2, but to be fair, every train stop has its own unique background, so that's cool. And if you haven't noticed yet in the run, this first rule, which only lets you befriend one yokai per location, was meant to be difficult, but it actually doesn't matter that much to me. What makes it actually more difficult is the grind and blasters. I think lots of people underestimate blasters, but it can really give you some great stuff. Some bosses fill you with holy X-Pops. Oh, and what I completely forgot to mention was that you need to befriend 4 yokais in San Fantastico. So I decided to befriend them because, well, I kind of need to, but I will only use one, which will be the evolution of Wicklin. You will see him pretty late in the run though, because I nearly forgot about his existence. Also, it wasn't good that we got Badude, as he misses a lot of attacks. I think it would have been better to keep using Ruffref. And I probably pronounced Badude wrong. I probably pronounced a lot of wrong here. You may saw some of my videos and recognized that my pronunciation is bad. But believe it or not, to record my voice takes by far the most time. First off, I need to write a script, and even if you talk for only 3 minutes, it turns out to be still kind of long, as you can say a lot in these 3 minutes. I also need to say that I make a lot of retries and rewrite stuff, and I can't do as many retries for a video that is as long as the one you are watching right now. I hope that you can still understand me though. Oh my gosh, now we're doing the Komachiro quest! I love Komachiro. Hot take, he's better than Koma-san. Everyone kind of loves Koma-san. I think the average favorite yokai are Japanese or Koma-san, but I like Komachiro more. Not the ykw3 Komachiro though, because he just resembles a teenager that wants to be cool, and that just makes him crazy lame for me. Generally in life, you shouldn't focus on being like someone else, because it won't make you happy in long terms. I got nearly all key quests completed by now, besides of one, and that is the maiden one. She takes a bit of time, because you need to upgrade your watch, then befriend 3 yokai and go through a little maze, in order to save her from a fat pirate. Also, we get Witlin now, which is pretty good. His evolution will appear in the final team. I don't know if you know him too well, but for the story he is goated. I don't even think I needed to use an item in the final battle because of him. He's just a great supporter and healer. If you normally play for ykw2, then use him. I wouldn't recommend using him against ykw2, but you can create a great team against volcanoes using him. Or Cable King, of course. But to be honest, quite everything can defeat Cable King. You just need to bring some items to the battle and you can easily take him down. Yes, he's indeed the third hardest boss, but that doesn't need to mean that he's hard. You just need to use some healers and you're good. I hate him though, as he just spams inspirates and that makes him really annoying for me to fight, as you can find hardly any crazy team to demolish him. Like, I did a speedrun against him once, which I also showed in a YouTube short, and it took me around 4 minutes to defeat him. As a comparison, you can defeat ykw2 and Volcanoes in around 1 minute and like 10 seconds. Cable King needs over 4 minutes, which is why I don't like to fight against him at all. He can give you some good souls though, like there's also one special soul which requires you to get Pananoko. It makes that soul really hard to get, but you should be able to get it from Cable King. It would probably take you an eternity though. Now we are doing the Chibanian quest. And the story around him is very sad, not gonna lie. I only find it weird that Nate never searches for Amy. I mean, she could have moved away, but it's likely that she is still around Springdale. You know what? I'll search for Amy. I can assure you that I won't find her because someone would have definitely made a video about that, but maybe I'll find her house. You will see that in my next YouTube short. But now back to the Nuzlocke. I need to upgrade my watch and after that I need to do some annoying key quests, including the most annoying one in the entire game. The bicycle one. Now it's cool and stuff that you get a bicycle, but the quest to get it sucks on a whole different level. It starts off that your dad lost some important papers for work and you need to search for it. So you need to travel to several train stations just to get told that they don't have it. So we go back to our dad, which can't use his brain anymore. So we need to befriend Flashback, which removes his dementia. But that still doesn't solve the problem to 100%, as we need to go to several shops in hope that they have those papers. Now I played through the game several times, so I knew that they were at the bicycle shop, but people that never did that could get unlucky and need to go to all of them. At this point, we are nearly finished with the story. I just need to take care about that unnecessary war real quick. And as you can see, these fights were really easy and no big deal at all. But then I discovered this quest. It hurts to see that I couldn't do it. This quest lets you befriend Donchan, and if I knew that, then I wouldn't have befriended Sent because he locked Empty Whitewood. So that definitely sucked, but I didn't need him anyways. Donchan is the best strength supporter in the game. He has a crazy strength and spirit, which makes him goated. And at this point, I finally saw the Sand suit in the lottery prizes. But oh boy did I get unlucky. I grinded this lottery for hours. And at some point, this happened. I got a special coin. And I don't want to lie, that finished me off. I was done with this useless, time-wasting lottery. And as I didn't need it at Mr. sent me anyways, I decided to move on. But I remembered that Kelpa Cabana exists, so I got him ready to be used for my final team. The only thing missing in this run now are some good souls. And I think it would have been possible to get at least one good soul and max it out, but that would have been just way too much work. I would need to befriend around 5 yokais with the same tribe and then level them up to level 80 or something just to get a level 10 soul. I could have done that, but it would have been just a complete time waste, so I decided not to. And now the town gets black and stuff. Also, you will see a huge skill issue by me now. I seriously couldn't figure out where that buffer board was. And now, we are facing them that time for our first time, which is immortal right now. So we need to take down her little infantry, which we can do with ease. Here we go. We defeated them both and now we are defeating them that time once and for all. Just joking. She has a second form of course, which design looks terrible if you ask me. Like, what is that? Fun fact, I still have marble beef in my inventory, because when I began with the Nuzlocke I didn't have the rule that you can't have a yokai more than once. Someone suggested but I shouldn't have duplicates because it makes the Nuzlocke even easier, and he was right, so I decided to not get a second Snartle. And now we're at the end scene. The only reason I'm showing you this is because I think it's kind of nice to watch him sped up. Well, that was the Nuzlocke. Looking back at it, I need to say that I overrated myself. I made some mistakes and my Nuzlocke could have ended twice, but I really enjoyed it. Here's a step-by-step list of what you should do, by the way. And in case you're curious, my Nuzlocke took me nearly 24 hours, but if I redid it, then I could probably do it in 15. Big thanks for watching this entire video. It means much to me, so have a good day and see you next time.